All right, guys, it's Nick. Welcome back to another exciting episode as spring is pretty much officially here. We're going to be getting these beds back here kind of ready for our spring plantings of the tomatoes and peppers and whatnot. So there's a few things I like to do, and I want to show you how you can amend your beds or your soil right now, cheap and effectively, to get them to produce the best food you can organically. So I have a few things I picked up at Lowe's back here, and I'm just going to show you how I'm going to add this to our soil and how it's going to enhance the quality, enhance the nutrient intake, and just provide the best growing medium for our plants. So let's get started. All right, guys, so here's our main bed that we grow stuff in. I'm kind of limited to space because my father, it's his property. I'm still in school, so but you can see we have a bunch of the figs going over here. But I just wanted to, and some actually of our seedlings hardening off, some peppers, tomatoes, and eggplants. But to amend this bed, we do have some spring crops planted in here. So as you can tell, there is a lot of the lettuces and stuff. So we're gonna have to work around this. But if you didn't have anything in here and this bed was bare, one thing I like to do and recommend is, let me go grab it really fast, is to add some peat moss. Especially if you have a more sandy soil. This is pretty cheap. It's like $10 for this big bag, and you can just kind of mix it in and rake it in. For your first time doing a garden, that's essential. Just kind of, make your soil quality a little better, have a little more moisture holding capabilities. This is important. I've done this in years past, so I don't need any more peat moss. I don't really need to amend my soil. I just want to make a nice top coat and help make a compost tea and keep everything growing on well. So first thing I have here is a little bit of cow manure. This was pretty cheap at Lowe's. It was like $4. This adds billions probably of microbacterium that are really good for your soil life and activity. So I'm just going to add pretty much a nice layer on top of everything, avoiding the plants I have in the ground now. But this is the first, it smells like cow crap. This is the first, no, it smells bad. This is the first step that I think you should do when preparing your garden, as it just aids in nutrients. So I'm just going to dump it here. Like so, and then we're going to spread just a pretty thin layer as our base level in here, and this will act as really a nutrient to help leak nutrients down when it rains, and just provide the soil with a bunch of microbes and bacteria. So I'm going to have this all layered in, and I'll come right back once we get that. All right, guys, so for me, that's pretty much good. It's a nice inch. I'm gonna add a little bit more to the soil here, but you don't need to use manure. You can also use like a compost. I have some compost going right now. It's not really ready, so I'm gonna add that to my other bed over there. But manure works well, so does your own compost. You can buy a compost. You can get chicken manure. There's a lot of things you can get and use as your base level, as like a compost tea, to let those microbes work in the soil and help the beneficial bacteria in your soil. So the next step that's somewhat important that I like to do in the beginning of the season when you get your plants in right away is add some slow release organic fertilizer. This is Job's, and all I'm really going to do here is just take a handful or two, like so, big handful, and just sprinkle it all around. And then I'm just going to work it in the first inch or 2 inches of soil and just kind of get that in there. It also aids in the nutrient uptake and will provide your plants with a lot of nutrients throughout the season. So yeah. Now, time to mulch. One thing I wanted to add is you're still going to need to fertilize your garden beds throughout the season. This just helps get a lot of micronutrients and macronutrients into your garden space so they can start off really strong and absorb the nutrients and get growing big. Another product I love to use, especially in the beginning days of my garden and towards the middle of summer, is Ivy Organics. It's his fertilizer. It's an organic fertilizer. As you know, we like to be organic here on this channel as best we can, but It's a super blend. You can see it has, 13 parts nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, has magnesium, sulfur, and calcium, I believe. So that's pretty awesome. That has a lot of the micronutrients as well built into it, and it makes up to 20 gallons. That's pretty cost affordable if you cost basis that out. So I'm also going to throw a couple handfuls of this in my garden and work it in. But now I'm going to show you how we're going to mulch. So let's go. Alrighty guys, so that's pretty much it. We have most of our pine bark on top of here. It's organic fertilizer. We kept some spaces for the stuff that's still growing, some radishes and some lettuces. Over there, we need to buy some more mulch we ran out, and cow manure for this section. But as you can see, everything is planted up, pine barked in, and fertilized. So that's how you're gonna help prepare the bed for spring. Hope the video cut off on that last video. I don't know what happened, but here it is. The pine bark is mulched in. And mulch is pretty important because it helps keep your soil temperatures regulated throughout the winter and the summer months, as well as provides a moist soil for all the microbes and earthworms and stuff to grow, protects it from the sun, protects it from the elements, and it's just pretty important, at least in my opinion, to use. So I'm putting in the peppers and the tomatoes and stuff in here actually this weekend. So I got to finish off over here. There's all the peas coming up. I'm gonna wait till they get a little bigger and kind of just mulch around them. And we got just some wood chips back there, some more wood chips, and I'm just gonna mix in the wood chips now with the pine bark. You can use either or really, but that's the importance, and that's how I get my beds ready in the spring. It looks nice, it makes your garden look nicer, and it just helps your plants when the hot summer months come, and especially for the cold winter months. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and to keep on growing, guys. See you in the next episode.